We have now witnessed anime's two best characters put on an epic display of strength and skill. One being Captain Law from One Piece, and the other being Todo from Jujutsu Kaisen. So we have to ask the question, in a winner-takes-all situation, who would win between Law and Todo?
That's a tough one because there's a lot of things that go into it. Is Law gonna be, like, is this room gonna be set up before the fight starts? Because let's say hypothetically speaking, you know what I'm saying, they both meet up. If Todo starts switching immediately, Law's kinda, you know, at a disadvantage. But if Law has his room set up at, you know what I'm saying, in the beginning, he can switch as well. So,
but he could create a very, very large room. So at this point, it's almost, he could pretty much cover an island, right?
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
He could cover an island, so no matter where you show up, the room will be ready for you when you get there.
That's what I'm saying. So you're saying the room is gonna be there as soon as the fight starts?
Even if the fight's not gonna start, he doesn't need to be looking at you or be facing you for the room to happen. Okay, you switch with me. You send me something like, you know, with my back turned. Room. It's an entire island. Doesn't matter to me.
I see what you're saying. I'm leaning more Law because, like I said, the room and ability in general can do a lot more things. The switching is great, but also like he can, you know what I'm saying, make his sword go through your body. He can
amputate.
He can amputate. He can do all these different things.
Correct.
I don't know enough about Toto's ability, but now here's the interesting thing, right? And I was thinking about this too. Let's say, okay, boom, Todo does the clap, and he sees him clap, and he, you know what I'm saying, let's say he amputates his hands. Toto can still do his boogie woogie without his hands.
I'm not sure if he can actually do the boogie without.
We see him do it with one hand and slap.
He actually did not flip Mojito. Mojito thought he was gonna be flipped and attack a different direction. If you rewatch it, that's what he did. And he said, oh, I guess my boogie woogie's dead or something like that. That's what he kind of says. So I'm not sure about that.
If he cannot do the, you know what I'm saying, boogie woogie without his hands, there's no way he's gonna beat Law. Because Law is gonna amputate his hands and then switches it with rocks or something.
Where Todo has the advantage is Todo hand-to-hand combat is elite. So one thing Law would have to do is stay far away from him to an extent, because Law uses his sword, so you gotta appear, chop. The same way he did with Big Mom, he's going to have to do that. Now here's the thing, when he fought Big Mom, he had to toss rocks to make himself appear in different locations, because he can't switch himself out also, right? With Todo could take advantage of that, where he could see if he sees the rock, because he's a very high Q guy. If he sees you throwing the rocks, he kind of could predict, okay, he's gonna use these rocks to appear here, so I'm going to switch out with this rock.
But there's the thing. Okay, so let's say, hypothetically speaking, he throws the rocks and he sees the rocks. You don't know which rock he's gonna switch with. What if,
don't?
Like, you know what I'm saying? So like literally, it's a guessing game for you. So if I throw like 100 rocks in the air, you know what I'm saying? I can switch with any one of those rocks.
But the purpose of the rocks is for him to be able to appear in different locations and launch an attack.
Yes.
So if you throw rocks all around me, I'm switching with a rock to put myself in a different position, because you were expecting me to be in the middle so you can keep your attack up. It's not gonna work with me. I'm going to switch.
But again, this is why that makes it difficult, because right, let's say everything's speaking, right? If I throw the rocks and let's say you switch one of the rocks, so I can't know where you're at.
Correct.
We don't know how quickly, and obviously, well, he does it pretty quickly in general. So let's say you switch here. If I switch here and I see that you're not in that spot, I'll just switch to the nearest rock near you. So it's gonna be a situation where, can you keep up your switching as much as I can keep up my switching?
Here's my thing. This is where I say Law has the advantage. The fact that he has to clap to initiate it, that takes time. Whereas in Law, it's instantaneous. His best way, his only chance of beating it, like I say, is to close the gap to where you can get close enough to go hand-to-hand combat with Law, because Law probably wouldn't be able to hold up hand-to-hand combat-wise.
Yeah.
Second, you'd have to outlast Law, because it wears him out.
It does. But here's the thing, I think Law has a benefit too. Law can extend his sword's length.
He can. That's what I'm saying. It's long distance.
So if you think about it this way, like you said, he can just stay at a very long distance.
He can.
And just, you know what I'm saying, use that sword's length to his advantage.
Correct.
So like, Todo, his whole thing is he has to switch close to him. But like I said, if, you know what I'm saying, and that's the thing too, like if he makes a room big enough as an island, I can literally switch to the other side of the island, if, you know what I'm saying, and get, because
that is true, but making it the size of an island is really gonna wear him out. I really need to just stay alive long enough till he starts to dwindle and can't use room anymore.
Yeah, but again, how long and how often could Todo use Boogie Woogie? Because again, we haven't seen
Boogie Woogie doesn't have a limit
So
as long as he's not
so
physically injured that way.
Again, so the mindset is this: if I'm Law, the way I'm gonna the first thing I see him do once he claps, I'm trying to amputate his hands. Amputate his hands.
He's gonna know that you're going for his hands. He is a genius level fighter.
But you gotta remember this: Law. You see, we're only talking about swords. Laws can literally just move things in general. Remember,
yes, he can.
He cut off his head, body parts in general without even using a sword. So once whatever you're in that room, he can cut whatever.
But
so
Todo has a problem with closing that distance. Like I told you, that's what he needs to do. But if he keeps swapping you out and putting you further and further away from him, every time you get close enough,
if the room is bigger,
it's instantaneous. So you can just keep pushing him away.
Let's say the room is as big as the city.
Oh, that's gonna wear him out. But if it's as big as the city, you're in trouble.
Yeah, so like,
you're in absolute trouble.
At the end of the day, and again, but here's the thing, right? This is something that we'll discuss. We don't know if Todo has domain expansion and how would that affect the fight. Because let's say for instance, right? Let's say his domain expansion is multiple hands. There's a big room with just hands everywhere, and he can just constantly switch.
Okay, but you still need to get close to me and have to have a hand-to-hand combat. If he gets close to Law, does Law have armament hockey?
I think he does.
I think he does. So now that's a problem too, because he hits his hardest.
If I do domain expansion, you're stuck in that domain. And what if his domain has automatic? I think sometimes domains
it's automatic hits.
Automatic hits. So now, like, okay, now it's a more difficult fight because if I have automatic hits, even though you switch your body, I'm gonna land a hit.
But I got a question. But then we'd have to go universe for universe. Hockey. Can I use so much hockey and negate your ability? But that only works on devil fruits.
Exactly.
So we know, but we can't match the universes in that particular way. So that would be a little difficult.
So my question is this: would hockey break the domain?
That's all I'm saying. If it could, then then you'd have a problem again.
See, my question is this: we have to be fair in that aspect because, like you said,
I'm gonna be fair with that.
Because we don't know if Todo has domain expansion, but we're saying we're just pontificating and seeing if he had domain expansion, it would be better for him. But if we're gonna do that, we have to assume that Trafalgar Law has conquered hockey, and that would be able to affect this situation.
Well, okay, let's say this. Let's say Todo brings along one person with him, right? Mm-hmm. Can he beat Law's crew with one extra person? It can't be Gojo. It has to be somebody that's on the same level. Right, so we could give him Yuji.
That's the thing is Law's crew is so trash. Like, not to be mean, but like his crew is trash. You gotta give me.
I like Law's crew. I fell in love with Law's crew.
You gotta do either Law and Kid and Yuji and what you call it.
Well, here's my thing. Even if we're talking Yuji
and Todo, Law and Kid.
Law could essentially push him away. I wonder if Boogie Woogie works where he has to see you. Like he has to be in visual distance of you. If somebody's on the other side of an island, can he clap his fingers and bring you there?
That's the question. I think he don't have to see, because when they were fighting, those times where they were separated, he still switched them.
Oh, yeah. Then.
But here's the thing, right? If you bring Kid into the situation, magnetism will be a problem. Let's say they're what I'm saying, let's say they're in the city, right?
Yeah, only in a city situation.
Mind you, he has laser beams he can shoot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He can control metal.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, outside of Yuji's physical ability, what can Yuji do besides Flash?
When it comes to Kid's ability to build that giant thing around him, nobody's breaking through that. You're pretty powerful, but you're not breaking through that. And once you do break through that, he's not a slouch. He's gonna fight you.
He's gonna fight you. You know what I'm saying? So it's that why I can't do. It's not fair if you do, because Beppo is not nowhere near as strong as Yuji in my opinion.
Yeah.
And especially Yuji is the main character. You can't give him a main character. You get this dude.
That is true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's two main characters against one.
Well, one main character. So I would have to, like I said, actually we should do it like this. Instead of Kid, it should be Luffy. But again, then
it's over.
They definitely win. So,
but if Luffy jumps in there, it's a wrap.
He's a fighter as well.
It is what it is.
That's what I'm saying. Luffy's a fighter as well. Whereas Kid is more magnetism. But I said,
it's the fact that in the JJK universe, nobody has the ability to hurt Luffy. Because remember, it takes a special type of attack to hurt his rubber body.
Yeah.
So everybody's done for.
If you just get 5, then it becomes
then it becomes ridiculous. Everything around you.
When he starts grabbing lightning.
Yeah, he's grabbing lightning out of the sky and tossing it down at you. Then it's like, alright, man.
Crazy. But You know what I'm saying? Like for me, like I said, I think Law got it. You know what I'm saying? I think Law. I mean, I think it'll be a good fight to watch.
Yeah.
But I just think Law with his extending the sword. You know what I'm saying?
His instantaneous movement.
And then we even talk about like, you know what I'm saying, if he gets close enough to stab Todo in the chest, he can do what's that? I forgot the movie's called where he did the Big Mom, but you know what I'm saying?
What is Willie?
Yes, something Willie. Mm-hmm. But again, so I just see like.
Me too. I have to agree.
I gotta give
Law would win.
I get Law.
So
but, you know,
that's the way we feel.
Interesting fight.
But if you feel differently, let us know in the comment section who you think would win that fight. But when you're done doing that, click on that video that just popped up.
Peace.